Mm. Yo, sup? Hi Jimmy, how you doing? How's everyone going? Um, yeah, I wait until we're all good to go. It's looking like we're live though. We've been live for 24 sec. So we've been live for 24 seconds. Sup Shredders. Yes, welcome to Jimmy. Jimmy, I'm actually using your lyrics. I'm using your lyrics in the live stream. Thank you for the lyrics. I appreciate those. To be brutally honest with you, I wouldn't have known what any of this stuff was unless I had the lyrics. So I'm genuinely appreciative of it. I think everything should be fine for the live stream. I'm definitely feeling better. I was feeling unwell. Could I read the lyrics before I react to song? Oh, that's a tricky one, man. I can read the meaning of it beforehand, but I like to listen through the song and then see how the lyrics match up to the music. Does that make sense? And hi, Blue Dinner Box, how are you doing? I know what you're saying. I know. It's just that basically, I'd rather not. I'd rather not read through the lyrics before I'd look at the song. I know you really want me to understand it. I feel like I'll understand it just as much if I was to read it afterwards like I typically do. I kind of like to go into songs raw without knowing what they're about first. I appreciate that you have put effort into the lyrics. I just want to hear the track and then review. And again, the lyrics are here and thank you. So we will know what the song's about. It's just how I've always done them. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate you being understanding about that. His song is hard to understand. And that's fine. That's good to know. That's important for me to know. Thank you for telling me beforehand. I genuinely appreciate that. Because it's, you just can't assume that you'll know everything on the first listen, which is why we go through the lyrics, Anyways, Sup Shredders, my name is Logan, aka Spiderhands, and welcome to this SP live streams where today we'll be reviewing an album from an act named Wang Feng. Now, I really should. How do I copy his album into it? What is the name of this album? Because I know. Here we go. It won't show me the name of the title. What is the literal translation of this? How do I translate that? Hang on, I can just go to here and then. Oh, okay, I get it. So that's that. I'll move myself so that we're small, so the people can be okay with that. Okay. Here. What does DPAL say this is? Absolutely. So DPAL says that this is faith floats in the air. So that's it absolutely. Thank you. Yes. I see the title. The title is Faith Floats in the Air. Yeah, of course. Of course. No, it's okay. It's all right. I've just noticed that you put that in the title of it. I was looking at the text part of it. So, we're all good. But thank you. Faith flies in the air. Cheers for that. I appreciate that. We're going to be listening through all 14 of these tracks today. Now, it's going to be a longer live stream just because it's an hour long. But I'm looking forward to checking out each of these tracks. Jimmy Sun has been kind enough to provide lyrics. I'll be reading through those lyrics after each listen. And if you have any feedback or you have any questions about the music as we go, it should be good. It should be all right. Hang on. Yeah. Still kind of recovering from it. There's a lot of people in New Zealand that are unwell at the moment. Because we got COVID. And then people just assume that if they survive COVID, they'll be able to survive anything else. So everyone just doesn't really care about getting sick anymore. But anyways, we're going to start with the first track, Vanity Fair. We're going to listen through each of these 12 tracks from start till finish, and we're going to hear what we think. Let's go. Track 1. I mean, straight into it with the drum chops and guitars, eh? Hang on, we can compromise. We can compromise. Apparently the meaning of this song, it is a highly critical song that not only criticizes some stars, but also warns oneself not to get lost in the Vanity Fair. In this album, this song can make the audience wake up and listen carefully to the following songs. So I'll write the little. I've realized that you've put a little kind of like teaser about the track at the start, Jimmy. So I'll read through that as we go. Okay, I'll read through those before we start each song. I think that might have been what we were talking about. They don't like to put both guitars on either side of the stereo field. They seem to like to put like the really bright guitar on one side, and I kind of don't mind that too much because it is intriguing. It is intriguing. It's like, why is the stereo field uneven? I mean, it's nice and bombastic. Punchy as hell with the percussion and guitars. And it's right into it, the rhythms. No, it sounds well balanced. Unusual to have the distortion on that side. It's very bright, the distortion on the left side. I wasn't necessarily sure if I liked the sound of it. The vocal style is cool. I enjoyed hearing the sound of it. It's a great amount of vocal fry in there, which made it nice and kind of raucous and raunchy sounding. The lyrics, you stumble across the street as fast as spilled dirty water. Okay. Behind you chasing and screaming, the assistant stuffed you into a BMW. Wow, okay. So basically, yeah, this is, as Jimmy said, my understanding of this track is it's basically Wang Feng screaming at you to, like, take yourself seriously and not allow yourself to be kind of like overwhelmed by your own success, you know. Are you still proud at that time? At that time, were you still pretending? Fate is like a roulette wheel, who knows who wins or loses. Exactly, you never know when you're going to lose it all. So basically, I think this track is saying, don't take your success for granted. Try and remain humble and don't allow yourself to outwit yourself, I suppose. It looks like we are watching TV shows. It looks like we are watching a TV show. Do you mean on the live stream? Or do you mean in general? Do you mean like the Truman Show, where like people are looking at other people like they're on television shows or something? Because reality TV was a thing around that point, I think, eh? About 2009, people watching a lot of reality TV. His singing style was created by himself, which sounds motivating but tiring. Yeah, it is very difficult to sing like this unless you have really good vocal technique. I assume that Wang Feng probably has really great vocal technique, so that's fantastic, you know? People don't like his singing style. Well, that's fair, you know. The sound of the ending synthesizer is like the sound of a TV being turned off. Well, that's good to know then. I mean, it makes sense that it's like that. It's the end of the show, right? It's the end of the show. So I think that's a great start to it. Clearly a really tight band. Apparently it was composed and lyrics were composed, composition was Wang Feng. Arranger was Ya Yi Nan, the lead guitar of his own band. So yeah, no, I think it's really well done. I'm surprised considering the arrangement that we didn't get more lead guitar stuff going on, but I suppose it was kind of to keep Wang Feng as the focal point. So that's great. You know, nice short track to kick things off. Yeah, I get it. I think I do. But anyways, we got track 2 now. We are pushing through this album. Keen to listen to all of it. With lyrics and composition by Wang Feng, arrangers Ya Yinan. This track 2, as I understand it and as Jimmy has provided, is In the Spring. Wang Feng's nostalgia for youth and his exclamation for time, the lyrics are also one of the few that Wang Feng is satisfied with. That surprises me that he was unsatisfied by the sounds of it. I can only surmise that he's unhappy with most of his work. That is a shame, if that is the case. But we'll play the end of it. Let the synthesizer end.
还记得许多年前的春天，那时的我还没剪去长发。
Great to have the piano though.
没有信用卡，没有他，没有24小时热水的家。可当初的我是那么快乐，虽然只有一把破木吉他，在街上，在桥下，在田野中。 唱着那无人问津的歌谣。
Yeah, great vocal technique.
如果有一天我老无所依，请把我留在
Oh, this has lyrics.
在那时光里。
Some of them have lyrics apparently, so we can show those for you.
如果有一天我就要离去，请把我埋在
I mean, like the wavering fragility of the vocal performance alongside the really soft pianos and strings is just wonderful. It's really pretty. It's very different to the previous track tonally, atmospherically. Yeah, wonderful. Great job with the distortion. Nailed it. Great work. Solo time, baby. Excellent. I mean, like, I want to pause here just to show how much softer and kind of more beautiful this is than the previous track. I think with the attitude of the previous track with those distorted power chords and how aggressive it was with the messaging, this This seems a lot more kind of friendly and accessible for people who want more sort of like balladesque kind of formats. Huge sounding guitars though, man. But with the drum fills. Excellent use of slide guitars. Great dynamic range. That's powerful, man. Huge. I love the range of the performance though, like the triplets are sensational. And those harmonized guitars are wonderful. I love how softly it finishes as well, just with the piano and the key and the guitar, right? It's very charming. I mean, like, he's a tremendous singer, and the guitar work is splendid. This is kind of where I was more thinking with a longer form factor track that he would really kind of like shine with those lead parts, but also the drummer being so tight on the kit with those different fills and understanding the importance of keeping the swing flow at the same time. The bass is nice and full on the low end, and just the passion behind the performance. No wonder this has gotten several million plays. It makes me extraordinarily happy that he's had that amount of success. We'll have a look through the chat just before we go to the lyrics. The song ranks 9th among the most popular Chinese song rank in the year of 2009 because 2 migrant workers made it a hit. Wang Feng believed that these 2 of them had infringed on his copyright and believed that people should strengthen their understanding of the copyright of the song, so he took them to court and banned them from singing his songs. Actually, Wang Feng has given them the opportunity, invited them to the concert, and encouraged them to create their original song, but they still keep singing his song. Because of this matter, Wang Feng was despised by everyone who thought he was narrow-minded. Unfortunately, his songs for everyone, he should be respected. Hi, Andreas. How are you doing? Jimmy, I'm sad to hear that they managed to piggyback on top of Wang Feng's success, because I think that if you write a song like this, and if you are clearly the originator of the tune, I think you at least deserve a little bit of acknowledgement for that. You know, and the fact that they don't want to kind of give credit to Wang Feng for their work being the, what is it, progenitor? What is progenitor? Yeah, this being the progenitor to the cover, it's just a shame that things had to go like that. And it's great that Wang Feng gave them opportunities to be able to get their word out there. Lou Dinnerbox says, just to be clear, the song is already hit before the cover. Oh, absolutely. And I'm not about to go on a tirade about it. I just think that I think that people need to respect where things came from, and if they're going to do a cover, try and make it transformative to an extent where people can literally not recognize the original at all, or to where it is a tribute to the original, or a parody, you know. But anyways, we've got lyrics time now for track number 2. Lyrics. Still remember many years ago, I didn't cut my hair at that time. No credit card. Home without 24-hour hot water. Oh, so he had like a lot less when he was younger, but as he got older, he had more. I was so happy, although only broken wooden guitar on the street, under the bridge in the field, singing unattractive songs. Remember those lonely springs at that time, no Valentine's Day. Please bury me in the spring. Damn, man. The TV show scenes of Tiananmen Square, Chinese football and gymnastics. The arrangement of this time is more like recalling these scenes. So this is stuff that he went over in his lifetime and looking back over it, Staring at the moment's brilliance springs to like a warm look of then I cut my long hair and kept my beard. The pain of the past is gone with the wind. Yeah. My tears can't stop flowing. Here, Wang Feng is dressed up as an old man and singing the song, showing the time flies quickly. One of my favorite arrangements of the bridge. Yeah, it's beautiful, man. It's a beautiful song. I love what they did with it, especially those wonderful harmonized dual leads that they had in that later half. I think that was tremendous, really classy with the approach there. One day I don't know what to do. Please leave me in the spring. So yeah, I do think it's about Wang Feng coming to terms with his life and how quickly it's going and how it passes. I think that's something that a lot of people can relate to. I think the beauty, the warmth of the lead guitars with the keys at the start, as well as the distortion coming in and buffing things up in the later half with like the drums, bass, and all that. It was a lovely bell curve energy-wise that we had. Fantastic development through a piece which was really well sectioned off, and I think I can understand why it's found success. No complaints whatsoever at this point. Things make a lot of sense to me. In general, the studio production is tight, but this is track 3 now. Thanks again to Jimmy Sun for providing lyrics for this. I greatly appreciate it, as I would not know what was going on somehow. And it's always good to be able to get that little bit of extra knowledge about it, This track Light is lyrics and composition from Wang Feng. The arranger and harmony, I assume that means backing vocals potentially, from Jie Yinan and Jia Yinan. And this is apparently Wang Feng's classic inspirational songs. Lyrics rewriting from the misty poetry of Shiji, poetry of the index finger. So let us continue. Let us continue to track number 3 now. Will there be lyrics? Not for this one, but that's fine. You did incredibly well, Jimmy. Thank you so much for this. It's a great effort. I mean, there's a lot to appreciate with the intricacy of those octave power chords on the guitars, with the bass lines and those drum fills there, with the glow and the carry of it. It's wonderful. I bring it down dynamic-wise. Good job. So soft, man. Oh, nice change to the bass line. 那就是我向你告别的善意。Yeah, that was beautiful, man. That bow down, bow bow is such a cool lead line. I love the character, how kind of classy that is. I really like the range to the styles within this And his really gentle, picked, arpeggiated parts in the background are dope, man. Interesting reverse takes there. Piano call and response. A shout out to how breathy his vocal performance is in the verses, right? That's a completely different performer on the microphone between the hooks, eh? Between the verse and the hooks, it's stunning. Yeah, excellent. And going up for the octave, nice. Ooh. The tension. That note was stunning. He really committed to that. He really committed to that. It wasn't enough just to have a really badass twist in that interlude section with a different chord progression, not sleeping on the songwriting. For him to belt that out, come back in the chorus like that, my lord. What a champ. What I like about that is the fact that it's a call and response, but also you got the drums going dum 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 boom boom, and time with that. There's a great rhythmic unity between these parts, and it's dope, man. Fuck, I love it. Yeah. And it just finishes really pleasantly. I have to say in full honesty that this is probably my favorite track off of the album so far. I just think, especially that big belt and that interlude section going into that last outro hook with that big long vibrato, and just with everything going on with the keys, kind of even like working with the lead guitars at some points, but also just the bass and drums being so supportive and such compositional diversity. It's a wonderful piece. Wonderful piece. Jimmy Sun says the arrangement of the CD version of the song is not the best. I think it was intentional because Wang Feng often takes the song as a closing song of the concert and invites the string orchestra or choir as same as Goodnight Beijing, but the CD version of Goodnight Beijing is already really full. Not the greatest, to be honest. We may have to agree to disagree. You may have seen a better version, but as someone who is listening to Wang Feng in this album for the first time, I personally feel that this was a really great, on its own, I suppose, exclusive of that, you know? But nonetheless, we have the lyrics now. Well, I'm excited to listen to very wonderful songs later. You guys are more than welcome to send through really wonderful songs. I'll be pleased to listen to them. And I mean that genuinely. You know, I do like listening to music. When the eaves of ashes seized coagulate frost, when the knapweed grass. What is knapweed? This is very much poetry, isn't it? Like, this is like the hardcore poetry, right? When the land covered with mournful fallen leaves, when azaleas. There's a shadow would I say goodbye to you. So what do I think the poetry is about? Maybe the stray melancholy will break my steps to pieces. I think they're kind of comparing the cycle of nature from growth to decay as being a part of their life, you know, and with it not being particularly pleasant the entire way, but their existence being part of what's important, and saying goodbye is okay because of that. The lost and journey might torn my arm to pieces, but I believe the future will give me a pair of wings, a dream. Oh, okay, I get it. So, like, even if like we're struggling now, our future will improve. Although the setbacks and trauma stop my way, I firmly believe the light is in the distance. Okay, so this is about like the difficulties we go through now, and realizing that things will improve, or hoping they will improve later on, and not taking life for granted. Maybe the stray melancholy will break my steps to pieces, but I believe the future will give me. Although the failure of pain has given me black and blue all over, but I firmly believe that light in the distance. Yeah, so we're not giving up on the light in the distance, and that even if we're getting scraped up and kind of getting kicked while we're down at the moment, we will find that pair of wings, and the shadow, we'll say goodbye to that shadow together and go to a brighter future. That's my take on the track, and I think there is a sense of glory to the song that is well articulated within that. The track in general, I think that things are nicely connected. The vocals really kind of sold that story of hope and not giving up and having that love for the future. But anyways, track number 4, At the Time I Miss You. Lyrics by Wang Feng, as well as composition, arranger Jia Yinan. This is a song written for a rock singer who passed away in 2000 and is also one of his girlfriends. This is the most poetic song of the entire album. So this could be a bit of a sad one. Sup, Martin, how you doing? Welcome to the live stream.
那一刻往事涌上心头，刹那间我泪如雨下。昨夜我静在绿雨中，望着街对面一动不动。那一刻仿佛回到从前，不由得我已泪流满面。
I mean, like, if I'd only heard the stuff I've been shown from Wang Feng's big singles, I wouldn't have seen this coming. There's so much range within this record, and his voice is so sweet, and the strings here are so quiet and charming, but there's a sadness.
你拥有的仅仅是伤痕，在回望来路的时候，那天我们相遇在街上，彼此寒暄并报以微笑，我们像朋友般挥手道别，转过身后已泪流满面。至少有10年我不曾流泪，至少有10首歌给我安慰，可现在我会莫名的心碎，当我想你的时候。
I want to pause because the song is overwhelming me emotionally. I think it's just because it's just so unprecedented. It sounds like I'm listening to a Disney soundtrack. It is one of the most gorgeous songs I've heard in quite a while, without hyperbole. And I think that part of it is the way that remember that his career in his university is violin, and he's also a violinist of the National Ballet of China. See, it wouldn't surprise me if he was at that skill level. A wondrous musician. There's so much heart within this. You can tell that he's grieving by the way he's singing, by the way the theme kind of rises a little bit, but it's also kind of bittersweet, and like he's commiserating. And the steel strings, man. Tremendous. Yeah, baby, there we go. I love that twist there. Yeah, build. Boom. Such intensity, dude. It's wild, man. And it's just such a massive amount of dynamic range, the difference between the louds and quiet parts. It's so intimate because of that. If things were the same loudness, it'd just be too overwhelming, I think, emotionally. But it's just that massive build in the chorus when the distorted guitars came in was wild, man. Great twist there with the arpeggios. And it just finishes like that. It just finishes on the quiet guitars, you know, like that was damn near flawless as far as I'm concerned. I think that they smashed it out of the park. The sincerity in the vocal performance combined with the real slow build there was just tremendous. The use of the strings is obviously an emotional kind of thing. Yeah. It's just fantastic. So yeah, let us chat. I think the string part is written by himself. Love Story with Junzi. He gives her a song called Youth, and she arranged that song for himself after she did. I'm sorry for his loss. Clearly, that was someone who was very important to Wang Feng. And it resulted, as sad as it is that they passed away, in this wonderful piece. You know, you can't fake, you can't fake a performance like this. It's heartfelt. That day, I strolled under the sunset, seeing a couple of lovers snuggling together. Yeah, no, it's pretty. It's obviously incredibly it's obviously incredibly when you the imagery is visceral. At that moment, memories welled up in my heart, and instant tears welled up in my eyes. Oh no. Haven't shed tears for at least 10 years, but at least 10 songs give me comfort, but now I will cry inexplicably at the time I miss you. Life is like a farewell, saying goodbye to everything from the beginning. All you have is scars when looking back on the way back. The day we meet each other on the street, greet each other and smile back, we wave goodbye like friends after turning around, tears streaming down my face. Yeah. So I think this is basically being reminded that person passing away all that time later, there's still being a void where the person was in your heart. And really just trying to come to terms with the fact that you'll never get to have that same connection with them again. They're calling out for that person, but I suppose it's just, yeah, that's what the song is about. Beautiful piece, though. Beautiful piece. Martin Wang says emotional lyric as well. Absolutely. Definitely. I think that it's sincere and it's great to hear it, man. It's part of the human experience. People pass away and you just gotta, do what you can with them whilst they're here and appreciate who they were when they're not. Jacob says, "Hey Logan, good to see you better. Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm still not quite 100%, but we're getting there. So thank you. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in so far. We're up to track 5 now of this album review. There's still obviously the rest of the album to go, but I'm very happy with it so far. This next track, number 5, is absolutely empty. Lyrics and composition by Wang Feng. Arranger Jia Yinan, with harmony Wang Feng / Jia Yinan. According to the lyrics from Jimmy Sun, thank you for that as well. This song is describing life as a sense of emptiness after sex, because people often live without a goal or purpose, and these people are struggling and confused, living as empty as the air. And if I am going to cry later, it'd probably be good to get the tears out before the start of the weekend, am I right? So let us continue with track number 5. Can't play the current song. Why not? Why can't I play the current song? Oh, I can. Don't know what happened there. I had a bit of a meltdown. Is sitar? This is sitar, man. Mm.
在每个洒满阳光的早晨，我都拎着背包走上街道，皮鞋敲着路边，嘎嘎作响，发型新颖而且外套鲜亮。
Great use of rib shots, man. A bit of vibrato on the guitar. It's cool. 我却感觉我迷失在荒野，可我不知道。That hits like a train, doesn't it? And I just love how we have these big bullish guitars and then boom, with like some hand drums and the sitar. There's complete vibe shifts. It's very engaging for listeners. We need change when we listen to music. If it's all the same all the time, we can get kind of too lost in the source. Hang on, what the hell happened there? Oh. What? What's happening? My Spotify's having issues. I guess we're not pausing. Because when I paused, it went back to the start. Not sure why that was, but anyways. Verse 2, I suppose. Right, 16th note groove there. Yeah, that's the boom, boom. What was I up to? See how it's going back to 120? You can't see that. When I pause, it's going back to 120. Man, Spotify's being a bit weird. I can't pause though. I love the guitar bends. Double chorus? Great. I'm glad there's a solo here. We needed something else to kind of carry us forward, you know? Yep. Increase the intensity with the drum fills. I think the sitars are a nice touch. They're a great change texturally to what we've had already from previous compositions. Add a bit of an exotic kind of nature to it. Makes it sound a little bit kind of raunchy, you know what I mean? Anyways, yeah, that was absolutely empty from Wang Feng. Jimmy Sun says probably Tar, sexy lyric goddess. I'm not sure what that is in reference to, but that's okay. And also, to be honest, I think he is the greatest singer in Chinese mainland. I wouldn't be able to quantify that, but I think he's a great singer for sure. I think that he's a great singer from what I've heard today. And Martin Wang says, I was once seen Wang Feng himself at backstage, but at that time I was not know much about him. It's funny how that happens, eh? Sometimes you can meet your heroes before they even realize they're your heroes, you know? But yeah, I'm glad that I'm learning about him today. Hopefully you are too if you're not really familiar. Every sunny morning, I carry my backpack and walk down the street. The leather shoes creak against the road service, novel hairstyle and bright coat. Yeah, I think I understand this. I mean, like, from the birth until now, I have been searching to find a reason to exist. Want to know the true meaning of life. Want to know why I am living. There is a sadness in life that cannot be described. Wow. You smile, but your heart breaks more than you cry, just like there is another pain that cannot be endured. You are more disappointed to live than to die, my lord. That is pretty visceral. That is some visceral stuff, man. And I don't know why or isn't able to face oneself empty beneath my hard flesh. I see the hard flesh reference there. I think there is a little bit of a wordplay going on there. I feel that, man. I feel that. It's great songwriting. I think a lot of people can probably at least relate to the concept of wanting to find a higher purpose and to kind of find a way to cope with the mediocrity of our existence. And when we can't, find connection with people, I think there'll be an audience for that for sure. But we've got Is It Funny? This is track 6. Lyrics and composition, and as well as harmony by Wang Feng, arranger Jia Yinan, and a really hard and strong track, a highly critical song that depicts the boredom of life. Let us continue. Interesting work with the synths. I haven't really spoken about them, but they're fun. They're great tones. Great pounding of the guitar with the vocals. Yeah, great. Excellent. Just huge, dude. Again, he just pulls it away straight away. He does not allow you to sit on that amount of like depth there. He pulls back to kind of have that sense of emptiness there. Interesting tone to the drum kit as well. I think he's using electric drum samples before. Yeah, that's great build there. Effortless. I mean, like, it does hit pretty hard. Like, it's just balls to the wall with the wall. Okay, so we're mid-2000s, see the vibe. Beautiful, man. I mean, like, really, it is just simply the case of having those guitars kind of thrash at you and kind of put you in your place there. It's a wonderful alternative to Wang Feng's lead voicing, which at this point in the album I'm super stoked with. But, you know, again, just having, you know, a different main focus is good. And there was just a child crying there for some reason, which was kind of unusual. Oh, thrashed, man. I mean, I think it was well done. The performance was a lot more simplistic, or at least some of the composition wasn't as complex with the layering or the technicality of the performances outside of like maybe a bit more kind of like fluidity with the lead guitarist, but it's more about, I suppose, the power of the sound of it. We got lyrics anyways. We got lyrics to check through for this track. We're making good progress through the album. You know, there's another 8 tracks to go, but I'm having a good time with it, and hopefully you are too. Although, apparently the last few tracks are really long. So that's it's good to know in advance, I suppose. The lyrics for this track: watching the holiday party on TV, do you think that is funny? Listening to celebrity interviews on the radio. Oh. Do you think that's funny? Is that the life you want? Do you think that is funny? There are more high-rise buildings. The cars are getting, the road are getting denser and denser. Oh. Yeah. Weak children are begging around you. A beautiful mother is fake smile around you. This is the life you love. Do you think it's funny? This is funny. Yeah, absolutely. So I think this is basically talking about the current state of affairs with a lot of stuff that Wang Feng disagrees with. And it's basically asking the listener, are you okay with this? Do you think this is funny? Is this a joke to you? Yeah, there's a lot of malice in there and a lot of discontent. And it is carried with the vocal performance. Yeah, no, definitely, 100%. You know. Jimmy Sun says, a highly critical song. I turn this album into some tsunamis, but like a wave, wave after wave. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I would suppose that would be the case. It's simply about things getting heavier and heavier as you go through, like kind of like threatening to overwhelm you if you allow it to. I think that power is fantastic. It's definitely very enjoyable album so far, but for different reasons. Not least the fact that when they do go hard, they go hard. We got track 7, Poor Love, with lyrics, composition and harmony by Wang Feng, and the arranger is Jia Yinan. The most bluesy song on this album, Wang Feng has used the poor love of ordinary people to describe human beings' unclear judgment and indecisiveness towards reality, leading to confusion. Wang Feng may also be writing about his own love story. Good to know. Let us continue. Track number 7. It is rolling with the blues and the pentatonics, to be sure. Bit of funk to it as well, though, to be fair, man. Boom. Yep. Natural increase in intensity. I mean, like, it's so tight with the performance of the drums coming in with those different guitar riffs there, the bass as well on the low, and just kind of like keeping things popping. And yeah, you've just got him kind of using that vocal fry on top there. The sass, man. The sass is strong with this one. Kind of reminds me of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, to be honest. I think a lot of the power of this would come from understanding the vocals natively, but I mean, I like the major resolution up in that top part. Wang Feng may be the most authentic blues singer I have ever heard and sing Chinese blues songs, or sing blues songs in China, because of his rough accent and his strong music delivery. Few people in China sing and write blues rock. Perhaps its execution and sing style are quite different. Yeah, it is difficult to sing the blues. You're right. I think also the history of the blues is that it was kind of invented in like the very early 1900s, and it was like the African American people like that were working in the field. Like a lot of it was about like working in the fields and stuff like that, and a lot of really terrible situations they were in. You got to kind of be careful with blues and where you go with it. It's just like, if you're going to make blues, just make sure to remember the roots of where it came from. It's because it's a difficult genre to get right, and you've also really got to sell it. Like, you've got to really feel that blues, if that makes sense. But he does well. It's like contemporary blues, you know? And I think that's great, like blues rock. Right. I mean, like, it's nice to have a little bit of variation with the drum fills. Hey, double time. I mean, it's great energy, switching vibe. Okay, no, that was charming. That was well considered. I think that it was great to have that double time to really increase the intensity and the energy of the riff past what we might have been comfortable with before. I think that it really did kind of you know, it basically says, I know I've had this motif for the first like two or 3 minutes, but let's just kind of like flip it and make it yeah, a little bit less kind of like a little less chilled out. A bit more urgency to the themes, I suppose. We got lyrics time. We got lyrics here. You know, I already feel like I can't do without you because of your wonderful body and captivating eyes. Oh, okay, I get it. So they find him attractive, but they don't love him. You know, I'm deceiving you, and I'm also murdering myself. This damn poor love. Oh, I get it. Yeah, so like there's obviously like benefits that they receive from knowing this person and getting sort of like kind of raunchy with them, but at the same time, they just simply don't really feel anything beyond that. I get it. I I always feel like crying after every yeah, wow, okay. That's the disease of this era. Please forgive me for not being able to surprise you more. Ah, yeah, no. I cheat you and I'm also murdering myself. I stand poor love. See, I think this is definitely about Wang Feng realizing, hey, you know, like even though I'm really into you and I know that we have this kind of like connection, it's not as deep as you want. I think maybe that part at the end is him kind of like getting a little bit more sort of panicked about it, as if the person is going to find out that he doesn't really feel those things that he feels. I'm not sure. Look, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I am going to quickly go get myself a can of Coke and I'm going to like wake myself up because I am still kind of like recovering from like the sickness stuff. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I just got to go get myself a Coke. Get myself a Coke. Yeah. Look. The room. The room. You haven't seen the room for a while, man. Okay. Okay. I have a Coke. Oh, Coke. Oh, goodness. Oh. Wow. Crazy. I mean, I have my hat. Ugh. Yeah, we go. That feels a bit more normal. Covering up my hair. I wouldn't be surprised if some people thought I was going bald or something like that, to be honest. Because it kind of probably seems like it, when you've got someone who wears a beanie all the time. The thing with Coke is that I don't really like the taste of it. But if it wakes me up a little bit of caffeine, gets the review done. Yeah, man. Yeah, a big piece. Oh, what did I just tip over? I got a big Pikachu. There, big Pikachu. Yeah. So I got this from my girlfriend. She got me it for Christmas. It's it's his face is as big as mine. It's a good Pikachu, man. It's huge. I got lots of other toys and stuff, man. It's wild. Gotta put that there. What is the advantage of that guitar? Let's just have a quick look. We're at the halfway point. We're taking a break. We're looking at a guitar. Wow, dude. Can I make that big? So you can get. I mean, this is an acoustic. I wonder if he's talking about this. I mean, like, we make it big. If I look at this guitar, like from the perspective of someone who plays guitar, I don't know. I don't know what the advantage is. I mean, it looks like it would sound pretty. The thing with Gibson guitars that you got to be aware of is that the G, nah, man, I don't have that guitar. I have this one. I have this one. Yeah. Guitar. Have an Ibanez. Got the cable going through it. I don't think that's meant. I don't think that's meant to go through. So yeah, I don't know if I would have a Gibson because my understanding is that Gibsons go out of tune quite a bit, and that would drive me nuts. Like the strings wouldn't keep the note. But I have lots of other guitars. But if you like this guitar, go for it. This one here is like $5,500 though. Like you guys can't see that. Somebody said the yellow one is better. I don't know, man. Oh, I don't know. I don't know, man. I think the thing with guitars. The thing with guitars is you kind of gotta pick the guitar that suits you. So for me, I like this one. I like this one here. This is the kind of guitar I like. This one. This is my kind of guitar. It's an 8-string and it's got pretty little specs and stuff because I like black and white stuff, you know? But everyone likes different guitars, you know? TLDR though, guitars are fun. If you've always wanted to play the guitar, give it a try and see how you go. And yeah, we're going to continue with the review now because I've had a break. I've woken myself up a little bit. I think we kind of got what the other track was around. Cheers to anyone watching this. Just get the guitar you like. Go to a shop and have fun, man. Anyways, we got this. Number 8. This is, oh, hang on. This is Mother. Yeah. It is an expensive guitar, but I love it, man. Look, honestly, like the best stuff in life often ain't cheap. But the most important thing you can do is just find a guitar you like. You know, just have fun with it, man. I mean, I've got a guitar back there, a Samick, that's like $150, you know, Fender Strat copy. And that sounds great. And I've been using that for 20 years and it sounds fantastic and I'd never sell it. It's a beautiful guitar. So sometimes you can get cheap guitars that are awesome, you know, and they stay in tune. Anyways, this track 8 is Mother. And Sup Shredders, how you doing? Welcome to the live stream. This is the most lyrical song in the album that doesn't need to go through great ups and downs but still touches people. Wang Feng's father passed away a few days before the release of this album. That is precisely because of this departure that he cherishes his mother, so I believe that his mother would have been very helpful to his music, and without her there would have been no current Wang Feng. Well, that's good to know. Thank you, Jimmy Sun, for these lyrics again. And Shinyida, no worries. It's okay if you overslept. Hopefully you slept well. This is track 8. Let us continue. I think we've heard this before. There's lyrics. There we go.
生命一直是这样，充满谎言和血迹。你应该早点告诉我，应该早点告诉我。每当我在路上停下脚步，望着天空，我都会看到你。
Beautiful stringsmanship.
从荒芜的梦中惊醒，流着眼泪，我都能感觉到你。每当我在路上停下脚步，望着天空，我都会看到你。每当我从荒芜的梦中惊醒，流着眼泪，我都能感觉到你，我思念的母亲。
What I like about this track is that we have several different elements at play here. We have Wang Feng's vocals, which at this point I'm thoroughly familiar with, and I think he's got a fantastic chest voice, but it's also the quality of the guitar playing there, the intricacy of the arpeggios and various sort of melodies we're doing, as well as the organ and that's kind of resonating in that low to mid range, and it's just stunning. Stunning combination of elements, dude. I don't have this in the center. Realized. It's alright, I'll fix it afterwards. It's fine.
你是否还在我窗前等着我？我思念的母亲。哦，默默的，默默的，像一棵挺拔的杨树。生命一直是这样，充满恐惧和委屈。你应该早点告诉我，应该早点告诉我。每当我在
Yeah, it's charming. It's fantastic.
望着天空，我都会看到你。每当我从荒芜的梦中惊醒，流着眼泪，我都能感觉到你。每当我在路上停下脚步，望着天空，我都会看到你。每当我从荒芜的梦中惊醒，我都会流着泪，感觉着你，我思念的母亲。
I think this is one of those songs where I don't think it would have suited if we'd had like if we'd had drums. I can understand why we made the decision to have the vocals and the guitar and the organ. It made sense from a compositional stylistic perspective to have things like that. I think there was a great sort of like vulnerability or fragility shown within the vocal performance that made sense with this how kind of like delicate the other parts of the arrangement were. And we never really built it up more than that because I don't think we needed to. I think we already showed we could go hard. So having something a little bit kind of more restrained was a smart move. I'm not necessarily sure about how I felt about the blues song, but I definitely liked this one. So now we got lyrics. Jimmy Sun says, probably not. His voice is so soft, isn't it? Yes, it is. His voice is very soft. He can rock and do ballad. Absolutely. Got a lot of range there. It sounds like he will cry. I'm feeling better. I am feeling better now. Thank you for asking, Shinida. It's I'm glad I took the week off. I'm still not 100%, but I am better, and I will be making sure to take time off if I need to rest, you know. It did sound like he'd cry as well, Jimmy-san, to be fair. It did sound like he'd cry. Yeah, absolutely. That's a mark of a really deep song, I think. But we've got lyrics. If you are still staring at me by my side, my missing mom. Oh, you know, this is definitely after they, Yeah, I can understand why this is the way it is, you know. Life has always been full of lies and bloodstains. You should tell me earlier. Damn, man. You know, you can tell he's a son who really loves his mom, and she means the world to him. I think that's probably something that does happen when you lose one of your parents, is that you really do cherish the other, because you realize, oh wait, they can just go, and it hits you like a train, you know? It's terrible. But I'm glad that Wang Feng can still have that sort of like connection to his mom and can still get that kind of like support and everything like that, and can let her know how much he loves her. And that's beautiful. What a great song, you know. Talking about all these situations where he's like alone and he just wants his mom to like help out and everything like that. I think that it's very well done. So that's cool. That's cool. That's great. We got track number 9 though, Broken Ballad. Lyrics Wang Feng, as well as composition and harmony. And the arranger is Wang Feng and Jia Yinan. And the title is called Broken Ballad, but music is not ballad at all. The ballad means a story that is broken family because his father was left. He always writes about the saddest things with the happiest melody in this broken family, also the thousands of other broken families for unknown reasons. So this this is going to be a bit of a heavy one, isn't it? I'm going to let that last track play out so that we can hear this one like from the start. Some of these tracks have lyrics that I wasn't expecting, but you guys can benefit from those, obviously.
我的梦挂在桂花墙上，墓志铭刻在九轮台上，幻想纸笔在彩云之巅之间飞舞诗意正好。每个铃儿响起的清晨，我随着记忆翩起舞，烟雾般时光的废墟里，泪的雪花香薰缭绕。妈妈在厨房里徘徊，爸爸在墓碑里等待，我站在大路边唱着这首破碎。
Yeah, okay, I get it. I get it. So he sounds like he's screaming out. The distorted guitars are a staple of his kind of work at this point. You can kind of figure out that when the vocal fry is coming in, boom, we get the heavy distorted guitars. But I think it's also just a shout out to the cute little natural harmonics that we had there alongside other the kind of bluesy kind of like clues that we were going to have more than meets the eye later on. It's just a great kind of like ABAB kind of juxtaposition there. The layers going through the sides of the headphones, you know. Yep, and it's fantastic with these riffs. It's great. And it's just so short as well. We have the distortion to come in, he screams out the lines, and then he kind of backs off. Those bluesy bends and licks it out, man. phaser or flanger on there as well. That's an interesting step. There wasn't as much range in the composition for this one. Sensational. Sensational. So that was the recording engineer at the end, as Jimmy Sun was talking about. I heard this recording engineer said how passionate it is at the end of the song. It is a passionate piece. I don't know if I liked this one as much as some of the other tracks. I think that we could have potentially had more range with some of the lead elements in addition to yeah, so you guys like it. You guys like this one, and I'm glad that you enjoy it. I don't know if I like it as much as some of the other ones. I like some of his other more sort of like compositionally complex tracks. But we can agree to disagree, you know, different strokes for different folks. I guess I'm used to a lot of what he's provided so far, and there's been some really meticulous, kind of really diverse stuff. I kind of am almost expecting there to be something else that comes in and kind of like goes, oh, but we also have this. You know what I mean? But it's still good. It's still good, you know. I'm glad that you guys like it. Jimmy Sun says this may mean he hopes Wang Feng doesn't always write some slow songs. Fast songs are more interesting. Yeah, they can be. I think at the very least, fast songs are more sort of energetic because they have more going on, and that can make the listener feel more pumped. If there's too many slow songs, it can sort of be a detriment because then you're like, oh, I didn't realize I was grieving something, you know? But then when it's appropriate, right? We got Broken Ballad. Lyrics. My dream hangs on the wall of osmanthus flowers. Fantasy pen on the peak of colorful clouds. Fingertips dancing in poetic lines. I mean, these are beautiful lyrics. He's a fantastic storyteller, for sure. And the ruins of smoke like timed tears of snowflakes and fragrance swirling around. Mom is wandering in the kitchen. Dad is waiting in the tomb zone. I stood by the road singing this broken ballads. Broken ballads. Whoa, what is this? Extracting tears in the chemical factory, steel flowers are being developed in a laboratory. Elephants in North Africa die in solitude. The sound of the piano and backseat drunken and breakdown White Bridge. My brother is lying in the attic injecting hormones while gushing. He pondered how to contribute to life. Buy a gold revolver. What? Bloody dawn floating on the roof. The carnival float sank to the bottom of the lake. What is this, though? The love of the new century is filled with coldness and sourness. This like stocks always make people panic. Oh no. This is terrible. Yeah, so it's about families being broken because of the loss of a loved one and not really being able to recuperate from that. I think that's what the track is about. And he's screaming about that and he's very passionate about it. I don't know if I necessarily got the darkness from it, but as you know, Jimmy says, he always writes about the saddest things with the happiest melody. And I think that's part of what makes it catchy and accessible. I think it would just be, to be fair, a little bit just too depressing to have it be like completely minor overall. But still, you know, I'm glad that you guys like it. I didn't mind the track. I don't think it's a bad song. It just didn't rock my world like a lot of the other ones have. But anyways, we've got track number 10, If the Wind Is Not Blowing. Lyrics composition by Wang Feng. Arrangement and harmony by Wang Feng and Jia Yinan. Wang Feng's poetic and inspirational songs. This song was written by Wang Feng to Han Lei in 1999, and 10 years later, Wang Feng recorded and included it on his own album. The song is believed by others to have plagiarized the melody of the Beatles' Real Love in the first sentence of the main song and chorus, but I think it's just a tribute to them. His apprentice Zhang Hengquan and Wang Feng chorus the song and Sing China Beauty Lives left a few days ago. Oh, it means the society's going to degenerate. Oh, I get it. So that's the previous song, eh? Yeah. Okay, I get it. No, that's fair, you know. That's also very valid because it was talking about stuff around the world. Absolutely. You know, the thing about me, I can read something and then still take a complete scuffed take of it. So don't feel bad if I don't understand it. Sometimes I'm just a bit silly. But we'll continue with track number 10 anyways, alright? Track number 10. Doing well, guys? I mean, it's just lovely to have the piano in it. With the strings, the backing of it. Completely different shift to the previous track. It's enjoyable. Have we got buzz rolls there? Is there a symphony or an orchestra behind him? Yeah, baby. I love. Oh. I was not expecting that chord there, but I like that. I like the boom boom. We got like a Phrygian flat second there. I think that's great for a bass line. Kind of commits to the darkness in that that hook section. Yeah, and there's just a little bit more oomph in this part. And he gets a bit more vocal fry in there. So we're basically repeating that hook line. Great job. Let that lead over top. Smart move. Really happy with that. This is kind of what I want from a lot of other musicians who have guitar in their songs. That power behind the solo is real, man. For real, it is. I mean, I love Wang Feng's vocals here, but I think the star of the show for that last part was honestly the lead. You know, I think Jia Yinan was the lead guitarist, if I'm not mistaken, from what I read earlier in Jimmy Sun's notes. The reason I think this lead guitarist kind of stole the show there a little bit was simply because it featured earlier, and we just too often I hear guitars kind of like there as a rhythm part, but not as an alternate lead melody, and it's such a shame that they're underutilized when there's so much of the fretboard to explore there, you know. So that was good. I think I did like that one. I think that was well played, quote unquote. You know, excuse the pun. But yeah, we got lyrics now. We'll go to the chat first, though. Jimmy Sun says only the melody of the first sentence of the main song and the chorus is considered plagiarism by somebody. Well, that's good to know. I'm not as familiar with that song, so just got a bit of burping going on. The strings great. I'm glad you like the strings. I did like them. There were some picked parts or some shorter notes there that were great, kind of eighth note inserts in the ether of everything else going on in those hooks, as well as legato parts on the other parts of the section. And Martin says the song brings the love and hope back. I'm glad that you enjoy that. I'm glad that you feel that way. I like it when the love and hope is back, for sure. If the sun never rises again, the mountains no longer stand tall, I will never feel afraid. I have a brave heart. Good to know. If my lover leaves me, my friend has betrayed me, it's okay, I won't cry. I know what strength means to me. If the wind no longer blows, I don't care. Homelessness is like a fast stone. I'll never give up hope. Dreams are always in my heart. Yeah, we had earlier we were looking at the idea of dreams and not giving up and always moving towards the light. I think it was track 3. And I think that for Wang Feng, it's very important for him to not lose faith in the future. You know, he talks about themes of like not really being sure of what his own worth is as a human being, not being able to establish meaningful connections aside from with his parents and stuff like that, and with him as mourning his father as well. And I just think it's a very powerful and interesting kind of like look into who he is as a person to really feel out how he operates and why he writes as he does. If the wind no longer blows, I don't care. I feel you. You know, you just got to continue making the world work as you can, the best you can as you go along. I think that's a beautiful thing to write a story about. That strength there is emanated and shown within, like, especially the big, powerful choruses and the hooks. It's loud and proud and isn't going to let things tear him down no matter what. Stoic. Anyways, we've got number 11. You Are My Beloved Girl, track number 11. Hang on. And this is lyrics and composition as well as harmony by Wang Feng and arranger Xia Yinan or Yinan. Wang Feng loves his children very much, and this song should be written for his eldest daughter. Good to know. Thank you, Jimmy, for that information. I'll put the album art up here so you can see it, yeah. There you go. I think it's beautiful. I love how down to earth it is. He really does not sit on his laurels. He's talking to his daughter directly. Wonderful extensions with those seventh chords. Okay, let's pause for a second and appreciate how wonderfully the strings are continued throughout this album. We have another example here with the flow, the legato flow, as well as like the mezzo pianissimo that we've got going on. It's tremendous. We have a little bit more kind of oomph in those hook sections, but we don't allow it to spiral. Still very delicate and almost a flamenco kind of tone to the note choices. And a bass guitar there as well. I think that bass is really well handled. There's such a drama to the strings in the back. You hear the how quick bowing backwards and forwards. Such a drama to what's going on there. I kind of adore it. Sup, Lulu? Welcome to the live stream. And you can hear the drums starting to build up a little bit, becoming a little more sort of like varied and articulate with the 16th note fills, with the brushes, but they still never go overboard.
让你知道，我就在你身旁，无论你在多远的地方，直到我去了天堂，直到你把我遗忘，你依然会是我心爱的姑娘。会是我心爱
Wonderful vibrato.
的姑娘。
Charming. Fantastic effort. Lots of love for that. No, I think that was brilliant. Really, you know, how do I even describe this? How do I kind of put two and two together and make four? Because I wasn't expecting a track like this from Wang Feng from what I've heard from him previously, even within his album. He really is so flexible with the way that he writes his music. He really never feels the need to fit within a mold. There's some tracks where clearly he's more comfortable. He's more comfortable with like the rock stuff and the distorted guitar and going between the soft to loud. But in tracks like this, it just kind of blows away expectations. It's tremendous. Jimmy Sun says sometimes he plays violin for the song in his concert, the most classic one in this album. So this is the most classical one. You mean from an instrumental or a stylistic perspective? Chinese parents love their children very much and are afraid of their suffering. I see. I mean, that makes sense. So, I mean, yeah, exactly, because Wang Feng wants his daughter to be okay. And I can understand. I'm gonna be a little bit kind of like, I'm a little bit curious. What does this mean? What does it mean? Help. Oh, yay, I'm glad that you love Wang Feng. I think that's fantastic, Li Liu. That's fantastic. I'm glad that you like Wang Feng. I think Wang Feng is a tremendous musician. And I'm very glad that we had the opportunity to check out Wang Feng today. And what did Jimmy Sun say here? Here. I also love Wang Feng. There we go. I also love Wang Feng. There we go. Because I do. I think that he's a great musician. Martin Wang says soft part of a rock man. Absolutely. It's great to have that range. For sure. Lyric time, though. I never easily make any promises. I never let my heart break for anyone. Now I can open my heart. You are the only girl I truly love. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, so his eldest daughter, I suppose, might have left home to go and do their own thing, I suppose. Is that the indication we have here? Hoping heaven will guide you on a flat road. Hoping fate will let you meet kind people. Hoping the sunshine and light from the distance will light the sky brighter for your future. But I hope you understand I am right by your side no matter how far away you are, until you change your look, until you forget me, you'll still be the girl I love. Yeah, so I think this is basically Wang Feng saying, look, I know you've got to grow up and I know you've got to explore and do your own thing, but I just want you to know that no matter where you go, I will be there for you if you need me. And also that it's kind of like, it was difficult for Wang Feng to cope with, I think. The fact that his daughter was leaving like that. So, still, beautiful track. You know, I think that the sadness that is in the theme there makes a lot of sense because it's of a man who is coping with the fact that the birds are flying the roost, you know? And I can imagine that if you you spend a lot of time with your kid, you know, as they grow up. You know, it's one thing that, but another thing watching them kind of like go their own separate way. We got 3 more tracks, though. 3 more tracks for today. City Without God. Lyrics by Wang Feng as well as composition and harmony. Arranger Jia Yinan. We have seen more brilliance, but more darkness, more scars and unease in our city, which is also the sharpest and most exciting song we have heard about the anatomy of contemporary society. In these cities, there are no gods who can help you. My lord, let us check this one out. I am curious about this one. What have we got? This is like Foley. There's like Foley of like a siren or something. A really pretty guitar line and filtered drum kit all over the stereo field. Okay, alright. Okay, so first of all, there's lyrics, so apologies, I've just found the lyrics. But secondly, they're following that 12-bar blues format with the soft kind of like, the midnight aesthetic on those guitars, dude. The delay and reverb samples are great. A little bit more upbeat. Effervescent. I mean, like, there's such a great sort of shift tonally there between the two. And it'll be interesting to hear how the verse lyrics compare to the hook lyrics, just to see if the mood matches the situation, the scenario. Okay, the bass line's exploring, that's cool. And I hate to interrupt the middle of the hook. I just like the fact that we have that, so like, oh, and then we have a bit more added context with the words. And then we just allow it to kind of sit there with the backing behind it. It's so satisfying because you get a little bit, then you get a lot, then you get nothing. And that cycle repeats until you go back to this, you know, the relative quietness of the verse section. bum, 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 bum.
新戏迷们总喜欢在这风间游荡，溜冰后的幻觉仿佛飞越彩虹。有人把灵魂锚给想象的圣徒，期盼信仰回归肾上腺素会能激荡，嚣张着年轻人挑选廉价的钻戒，为了逍遥的爱情和忧伤的欲望，他们正和那个黑影做着交易，只为了
Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, I want to talk about this. If it seems like I'm zoning out, it's not because I'm not disinterested in the track. There's just not as much compositional range as I was hoping for in this song at 4 minutes 51. I appreciate that maybe the story is more the focal point, and if you understand the language natively, this is where you're like, oh, we get more context, there is more nuance. But for me, because I don't understand the language, I'm relying on the musical cues to keep me going and the vocal quality of the performance itself. And at this point in the album, I'm already intimately familiar with how good Wang Feng as a singer. And it's like what I need from this at this point is to go, okay, we're done Wang Feng. What if we what if we had like another guitar solo, or what if we had the organs or the keys, or like maybe like a little kind of like other kind of lead section as a replacement focal point. I understand that. Yeah. See, that last part was fascinating. The last part was fascinating. The ba ba ba, ba ba ba. You know, that was fascinating. And the reason I said it was fascinating is because you really just had a beautiful situation where we were slamming out those bar chords, and there was just this extra little bit of high, this little bit of high resonance there that kind of sounded like it was resolving, like it was complete. And that's great. It's weird. Usually people go down. They go down when they resolve, but we went up for that one. So that was cool. That was cool. But we'll go check out the chat. Jimmy Sun says the sound of instruments is like the sound of police sirens, the noise of people, and other sounds in a city. Good to know. Thank you. I appreciate that. Or sampling in a city. Some music app banned the song. I wonder why they banned it. The guitar solo is in the last song. You'll totally cry in that song. And thank you for being good about me not necessarily liking literally everything on this album. It's not that I think it's bad. It's that I've been spoiled by Wang Feng. And so I'm expecting every song to kind of press the right buttons in my brain. And it's still good music. I'm just not sure if it's really all of it's resonated, but most of it's been fantastic. The street corner specialty stores and supermarkets are brightly lit. Tells our city is bad. I mean, like, these lyrics are phenomenal. You know, the girls at the post office look helplessly at the screen, examining people's destined fate and uncertainty. The dismal halo of the stock market shone in a shop window. Maserati flies through the purple acid rain. That's a hell of an image. The sharp scream of the police siren came from the North Square like the knife slashing across a city that without God. Oh. Liars and fortune tellers have occupied the East End. Yeah, there's some spicy content in there, isn't there? There has probably been some people that were quite unhappy with this story being told. And I mean, if you get your song banned, I honestly think that's a badge of honor, right? The Streisand effect. Boy Scouts wearing Nike escape from the classroom, wandering around the street corners, smoking and gazing at the sunset. I stopped a beggar and asked him where heaven was. He said it's a city without God is in front of you. Damn, dude. Wow. Successful men lie in the arms of their lovers, planning the next scam in the city without God. Oh my lord, dude. Ooh, this is some spicy stuff. New hippies always like to wander around here. The illusion after skating seems to be flying over a rainbow. Zhao Zhang is choosing a deep diamond ring for his lover for the swaying and sorrowful desire. Who's Zhao Zhang? Is that a person? Is that like a spicy thing to talk about? The fugitive is making a deal with the man in black just to be able to forgive in a city without God. Yeah. Good night, Blue Dinner Box. Sleep well. Okay. Yeah. But that's an interesting story here. I understand why now you know why. Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's yeah, I kind of have to agree. I understand the whole idea of sort of societal corruption and everything like that and how things get become perverted and all that. I understand that. I can kind of relate to that. I see a lot of that in New Zealand, you know, there's people that do all sorts of stuff and things have become a bit more horrific over the last 20, 30 years, you know, almost cynical to an extent. But it's great to hear Wang Feng's take on it. We got 2 more tracks though. 2 more tracks. We have Faith Flies in the Air, lyrics, composition by Wang Feng, arranger Jia Yinan. The song is an eponymous song of the album, is very rich in content, and I believe it is also the best song on the album. Some websites say that the song has been written since 1994, which means it's been written for 15 years, probably because Wang Feng has been changing the lyrics. Faith flies in the air as the essence of a spiritual product, an unstoppable pursuit of light and hope by humanity. This is beautiful stuff. Thank you again to Jimmy Sun for the lyrics. It is driven by the pure energy of rock music and the poetic quality of Wang Feng's solitude and the hustle and bustle of the night. I think this is the greatest lyrics I've ever heard. Who says Wang Feng doesn't rock? Come out. Let's go. Let's listen to it. He definitely rocks, man, for sure. Definitely rocks, no question about that. Have we listened to this? Oh, nice parallel minor there. Good job. I love the tension of those sus chords. I mean, just the power in their vibrato there vocally is tremendous. I think that they slammed it. Slammed it. No complaints about that whatsoever. Yeah. And distortion. Or overdrive. By the way, just so that we're okay, this is These lyrics aren't synced to the song yet, so I don't know what lyric we're up to here, and Spotify doesn't. So if I go too far or I'm too high, that's why. So sorry, I'm not trying to be difficult, just I'm not sure what line we're up to. So apologies about that if that's an inconvenience. It is not intentional. Great use of 7 minutes so far. Sup, Ellen? How you doing? Welcome to the live stream, bud. It's been a good stream so far. You know, we've chatted, we've done some stuff. It's been good. Fantastic. I don't know if you're aware of how difficult it is to just get that little bit of extra oomph and to push the limiter ceiling on the mastering chain. To get it to kind of like glue like that, it's very difficult to smash that out of the park, but we have. I love those 7s, dude. They're such beautiful guitar harmonies. Yeah, fantastic use of what is that reverb effect on the guitars? Like road reverb or something like that, I think. There's done a lot of early 90s grunge. Yep, excellent. Okay, good job bringing the guitar arpeggios on top. Nice work of the lead. I mean, I really hope that he's following correct vocal technique. Because, like, if he hasn't got sustainable vocal technique when he's doing that kind of raspy stuff, I mean, it's going to be really rough. But I think he's got it handled. He knows to go doing, like, you know. Really great use of 7 minutes. Great double time of the drums, bring those snares up. Good job. Boom, 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 boom. Now. Yeah, that was a hell of a journey. I really enjoyed my time with that. I'm surprised that given the vocals are the focal point the entire time, I wasn't wanting more from lead elements from other parts, but I think simply there was a nice range of different chord progressions. There were unexpected decisions made with like the harmonies, like with parallel majors or minors that were chosen there that would vary between the different repeats. There was a variety to the drum grooves and patterns there as well, which was cool. We didn't just sit with one time. I think we went to double time in the last part, which is great. And I think that, again, like Wang Feng's flexibility and skill as a vocalist came through, exploring his damn near all of his vocal range. And just in general, it's just really charming. It's a really well-written long-form track, and I think a lot of people can learn from this. If I go back to the chat, yeah, sorry, Alan. Yeah, you came late, but don't worry, it's okay. This live stream is still on YouTube as far as I'm aware. I'm sure you'll be able to watch it afterwards, and the auto subs should be done by tomorrow, so that'll be good. They aren't tonight. I'm looking forward to Secrets, Jimmy. Secrets are good. Thank you for that. Jimmy says that song should be writing in the world rock history. If someone has said no great singer, no, I think that he's a fantastic singer for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Martin Wang says I'm not always like the lyrics because sometimes they're overcomplicated on purpose. Yeah, I get that. Sometimes I think that sometimes with lyrics, you got to find that equilibrium, the sweet spot between having lyrics that tell a story and lyrics that are so simple that they're boring. So you've got to try and find a mixture of complexity and interest, but also not make it pretentious. And I think that for the most part, what we've seen today, I've understood what's going on in a way that's been like beautiful. I think that there are fantastic lyrics, but I can also understand if people are like, "Oh, it's too much for me because I might want simpler stories," and that's fine too. You know, it's subjective, man. We can agree to disagree, eh? It's why my job is to try and find facts and to try not to be subjective, because if I'm subjective, then like anyone could have opinions. I've got to try and prove them. You know. When the light and shadow of dawn and sunset intertwine, we have fled from every screaming city. A dazzling light emerged from the distant sky as freedom awakens our souls. Yeah. Largest song on this album for everyone, giving them energy for living. I think there is a sense of hope and faith. And again, it goes back to what he's talked about with walking towards a light and having hope for the future, you know. To emerge for the person who have justice but a lonely soul, for the person who has redemption of exile but abandoned, for the person who is a lonely seeker and great warriors who illuminate the difficult and winding road ahead of them. This was never the light we wanted. All the pain is here just before we say goodbye in the end. Let us fly with air of faith. Because Faith Flies in the Air is the name of the album as well. So that makes a lot of sense, you know? Our belief flies in the wind as per the album art. There's a lot going on here. All the pain will be gone just before we say goodbye at the end. Let's fly our air with faith. I mean, like the lyrics, like the mysterious light is as cold as a storm. You know, the earth is disillusioned into an elegy and a relentless despair. The dreamlight mist fades away in the distant mountains with the poem. People hold their arms high, hoping for enduring all kinds of hardships. You know. The blood wall trembles and trembles in the roar of lightning. Yeah, our fragile bodies. This is never the light we wanted till the pain is still there. The pain is still there. Just before we say goodbye at the end, let us fly in the pursuit. So, yeah, so I think for anyone who is struggling to cope with life, struggling to exist or like manifest against the difficulties ahead of them, it's just simply inspiring them to have faith and to just keep pushing on regardless, to not give up and to not let themselves be overwhelmed by everything that's pushing back against them. The faith means that faith is means against everyone. That means everyone is good. Yeah, I feel you. It's imagining. Oh, okay. It's imagining that. It's basically just having a belief in that. I understand. Thank you. I appreciate that. It is an image. Good to know. We've got the last track off the album. Goodbye Youth. Lyrics and composition by Wang Feng, arranger Jia Yinan. Wang Feng will place a concluding song at the end of each album as a falling of the curtain. The previous few songs were just a summary of some facts and a stack of images, and this song is just a combination of these fragmented things that is youth. Goodbye to youth is for the future and all the past has passed, so he says, goodbye youth. The first time you hear it, you may feel very sad, but I think it's just a strong nostalgia, not sadness. The guitar solo in the song may have a higher position in my heart than Chang Yuxing's River. Ooh, no, because I think Wang Feng's songs are more full of life experience. At the same time, its grand arrangement also highlights the charm of the electric guitar. The guitar solo of the song ranks second amongst all Wang Feng's work, second only to Goodnight Beijing, which is a cross-generational work. Hope you listen to that later. All right, let's go, Shredders. Track number 14. Before I do this, thank you to everyone who's come to watch this live stream. It's been a great time so far. Let's do this.
我将在深秋的黎明出发，伴着铁皮车厢的摇晃，伴着野菊花开的芬芳，在梦碎的黎明出发。再见，青春，再见美丽的疼痛。再见，青春，永恒的迷惘。
It's an interesting outro song for sure.
余晖从记忆的指尖滑落，带着雪中漫舞的青鸟。 带着风中悲鸣的草帽，从燃烧的风中滑落。
It's such good use of time with the pianos, the rolling bass line, just the Wang Feng in his special place. Strings.
青春，再见美丽的疼痛。
Oh, and the woodwinds. Come on, man.
青春，永远的故乡。再见，青春，再见灿烂的忧伤。再见，青春，永恒的迷惘。我曾随迷失的航船沉没，陷入璀璨虚空的碎梦。
It's so quiet.
沉入乱雨冰封的山谷， 随烂漫的行军沉默。
The flutter of the strings, the space in there, it's tremendous. It's almost unsettling with those notes in there. Drums. Where are we gonna go with this, dude? I just love that little dun dun, that little switch up, the shift there, the unpredictable movement. Where are we going to go with pianos, though, with those minor chords? Are those natural harmonics? Oh, major shift, nice. Wonderful. Wonderful. That was tremendous. That was tremendous. I think that the thing I liked about that solo the most was that it was so raw and it sounded like someone actually kind of crying. And there's something really special about that. It's very difficult to get that kind of soul through a guitar, to get that authenticity within a solo performance. But we weren't trying to be really fancy with our techniques or anything like that. We played incredibly well, but it was so, there were some little imperfections there, and it made it more real, if that makes sense. And I adore it. I really think that was a special outro solo. I think it's the big finish. I have no complaints about that whatsoever. I think it kind of makes sense when we're going to look through the lyrics, and then I'll talk about this as well as the album in general, because we're about close to the point where we need to do the conclusion. So I'm going to look through the lyrics, and then we're going to do the chat, and I'm going to do my conclusion, and then we'll probably be having a weekend, if that makes sense. I'll sit out at the dawn of the late fall with the shaking of the iron carriage and the fragrance of the blossoming wild chrysanthemum. Sit out at a dawn with broken dreams. Rain will slide down through the gap of memory's fingers with the bluebird dancing in the blood and the straw man mourn howling in the wind. Damn, man. I ever sank with the lost sailing boat, sank in the starry, vacant, broken dreams, sank at the bottom of a frozen chasm full of various desires, sank with the brilliant constellations, looked at the ruined prosperity. I can feel the heartbreaking melancholy. Listening to the big explosion in my heart, I sink into an abyss of sadness. Goodbye, youth. Goodbye, brilliant sadness. Goodbye, youth, the eternal perplexity. The last paragraph is more like a symphony. First, the sound of the clock and piano showing the passage of time, then the beautiful harp and drum like returning to childhood, then the startling guitar solo and strings like a natural world, and this guitar solo like a lonely person recalling the past. Crying while recalling. Yeah, I definitely got the sound of crying as the guitar was mourning that loss. I think the track, what made that track special was just the slow burn of it, bring it up to a different kind of vibe we have from the previous track. Was more vocal oriented and through composed. This was a big about the separate section for the big kind of oomphy part at the end with the solo and strings bringing it up. And it was definitely a finisher for sure. Absolutely. We got chat. There we go. Shinyida says, I think early Chinese singers had more of their own ideas. Now it's all about the traffic stars. Yeah, I get what you're saying there. Jimmy Sun says Fang Feng is special because of his songs. It's popular just because of everyone know the singer and know these songs. I mean, like they're great songs. They're really well written for sure. I'm really happy with the vast majority of them. Alan Sun says this was on as my favorite. I wanted it to be reviewed for a long time, but it's over 7 minutes. Glad to have this album reviewed. Glad you enjoyed it, man. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. Shinyida says, I mean that the songs have their own ideas and issues that they care about. It's just not just the lovey-dovey talky stuff that artists do nowadays. Yeah, because they don't feel the need to like pander to people who don't want to think too deeply about stuff. I understand that. Yeah, huge sadness. Wang Feng is too underestimated, too many bad news about him. Probably 99% of people is against him. I mean, I don't know a lot about Wang Feng as a person, but I think he's an extraordinary musician. And Shinyida says the guitar solo sounds great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. All right, guys, this is the big talky part. Don't know why we have everything there. This is the conclusion. What do I think of this album? What do I think it's about? I know we've kind of discussed what it's about to a certain extent. I think this is about this album for me with Wang Feng was him discussing, again, the saying goodbye to his youth, but also the connections to his parents, love, finding meaning in his life, finding the will to go on and to survive, talking about the corruption in the world around him. I think that it's tremendous. I think that he explored these themes really eloquently, and the vocal performance that allowed the storytelling to convey that was tremendous. He's a really great singer. He really is, because to be able to do what he did, where he managed to like sing so authentically and articulately, whilst also showing a level of care in his lyricism that demonstrates he wanted to make it poetry as much as a career, is great. And he had fantastic head and chest voice, great vocal technique, lovely little bits of some like legato and vibrato passages there, as well as the harmonies really working. But it's also just the fact that he emoted so well when it mattered, and he had this vocal fry and a nice crunch to it, which was very powerful in the raucous sections, but could come down in a way I didn't know he could for the softer parts, where it was really a little bit vulnerable, like very accessible and like very, it was like a gentle caress. Do you know what I mean? The vocals were smashed out of the park. Lots of variety across the entirety of the album. Absolutely no complaints about that. Um, the outside of that, I think his vocals were tremendous. The stories that he told were really great, and I think I enjoyed hearing his voice as the focal point for the most part. But it's also worth noting the tracks, whether they were 246 or 706, were wonderful in how they were staged and structured. Typically, we had a lot of range with the different chord progressions and bass lines, and we had verse, chorus, and bridge parts, or solo sections occasionally. Sometimes we just had more kind of ABA structures where it was like verse, chorus, and we didn't have a lot of variation to the outro parts. And that's okay. Like, I liked it when there was more instruments or when there was more range to the progressions with different unpredictable chord progressions and everything like that. But outside of that, I think that we did well with most of the tracks. They were very compelling. I actually liked most of the tracks. I put little hearts over them over here. I don't know if you guys can see that. I put little hearts over here. um, but I think like with the performances on the guitars, obviously the guitar, tremendous like solo sections, and the riffs because of variety of genres like blues, kind of folk, indie, rock, and as well as some like fantastic sort of drum grooves from the percussionist, lots of range across the triplets, 8/16 sixteenths there, knowing when to come down to pocket, when to really kind of build it up with those fills. The bass line kind of following the low end, caressing the root notes, was also a little bit of movement of the fretboard, but not too much. We typically were supporting the root notes and the triads with the bass lines. The strings, either a solo instrument occasionally, or typically they were supporting element in the mid-range to kind of keep things nice and bright and shimmery and pretty and sort of less sophisticated. The keys and pianos coming in as well to kind of dust and kind of like either be a kind of a sad intro to a track, very kind of emotional, kind of deep there, or we had a bit of sparkle in that mid-range to kind of brighten things up a little bit. We even had some synths or some interesting kind of arpeggiators there, or something like steppers that kind of had a bit of movement, a bit of angst to them, and a bit of edge to them that were kind of fun. And we had other kind of woodwind elements as well, like in the last track, where like we what do we do? We basically had them kind of a different lead element to the vocals, and they fluttered like beautiful birds. And when you combine all the other sort of symphonic and orchestral elements with what we had going on with the guitars, the bass, the drums, the keys, and the vocals, there was a lot of range within this. I think there's something for everyone in here, and I don't think there are any weak tracks. There were some songs I liked more than others, but I didn't dislike any of the tracks on this album, and I think they were very well played. I don't think there was a note out of place. And I think just in general, like there was a great synergy between the elements of the arrangements and composition, and it's very good first impression for me to Wang Feng's work. I mean, finally, the studio recording, mixing, and mastering, the production was fantastic. The vocals are nice and clear in the mix, whether they were backing parts or whether they were the full forward kind of main aesthetic there. So that was good. The guitars were nice and chonky. They had a great kind of fullness to them and distortion, but they were very kind of like pretty and sleek in the cleans and like steel string parts there. Bass nicely controlled in the low end there. Drums nice and punchy without side chaining too much to kind of poke away at the listener. I think that in addition to that, what we had going on with the keys and everything else, where they were filled and EQ'd, was splendid. And You know, it was nice to watch the stereo field. Things were often on one side, you know, like the vocals here, the guitar here, or like the drums here. We played around with the expectations of the listener there, so that was great. That was fun. Made it interesting to listen to via headphones. Things were nicely leveled in the mix as well, and there were no resonant frequencies in the stereo field because of the EQing and filtering, but also just because of the steps in the arrangement to not try and overwhelm the listener too much. And there was dynamic range to it as well. Sometimes things came to a standstill, like loudness-wise, the energy went down, back up. There was like peaks and troughs throughout the tracks, and we never really allowed the listener to get too used to a set loudness. Even the tracks which were more sort of like tonally consistent, they did have their like diversity with the various loudness there. You know, that's just the studio side as much as the arrangement and performance. But finally, it was nice and loud without pumping, so limiting compression was sorted. And basically, this is my review of Wang Feng's album Faith Flies in the Air or Belief Flies in the Wind. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show Wang Feng some love via the various social medias and a Spotify page. And stay cool and stay safe. And just before I go, I want to thank Jimmy Sun so much. Thank you so much to Jimmy for providing lyrical translations here for this album. I really appreciate the effort. I'm addressing Jimmy directly. I appreciate the effort you put into doing this, as it's helped me to understand the album that you clearly have so much passion for. It is greatly appreciated. Please stay cool and stay safe, and remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need to help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. We have a Dimash album live stream next weekend. I will catch you in the next live stream. Have a great weekend. And just before I go, Jimmy Sun says his album is also good. Hope you can listen to the album that loud later. We might do. I usually do an album per artist per year, so we might do that next year. And yeah. Spider hands out. 3, 2.